What's up, guys? So I've basically played Fortnite for about a season now. I played some Season 5 alongside other games, but I've nearly exclusively played Fortnite for the duration of Season 6. And here's what I have to say. Well, first, let me make it clear where I'm coming from. For the most part, I enjoy games that have a pretty high difficulty. I don't really know how to put it, but games that require a lot of learning or skill, versus casual, grindy games like Left 4 Dead or Warframe, which I love Left 4 Dead and Warframe, but I get bored of that casual, grindy experience really fast. I'm the kind of person that would rather max the difficulty, have my limitations stretched, and play the same stupid mission 10 times over before finally mastering it, then blast through the entire game guns blazing. So understand that's where I'm coming from when I make this video. I feel like I'm making this video more on the behalf of other people than just myself. But having missed out on nearly a year of Fortnite before jumping in and giving it a go, here's my take. And I thought this before I even played it too. Fortnite Battle Royale needs skill-based matchmaking or a rank-based matchmaking system in order to prevent a slow, painful death. No matter what, a game is going to lose players over time, so it must remain appetizing for new players to jump in to supplement that loss. It must be equipped with a way to continue bringing in new players throughout the duration of its life. In my opinion, Fortnite has hit a crossroad where they can either carry on with the original core Fortnite experience and keep the OG players happy, keep the pros content and miles above everyone in terms of skill, or do what they have been doing and attempt to decrease the skill ceiling, nerf different technical aspects of the game, and add a lot to keep the game casual, slightly more RNG based versus skill based. We've seen them doing this with the glider redeploy where you can build a little more recklessly, or the zombies, which can easily ruin a good player's day, or the turret, which gives a player with very little skill a huge upper hand. There's basically no way Epic can win in the long run by choosing either of these roads to go down. One will upset the bulk of their market, which is just casual gamers that like to hop on and have a fun evening each weekend. Casual players probably make up about 90% of their consumer base, and then the other option will upset their hardcore player base. Those competing, making up the esports scene, the Twitch streamers, the content creators, basically everyone doing their marketing for them. So the only solution I see to this is by implementing what literally every other game has, a rank or skill-based matchmaking system. When I think about two games that have had long, healthy lives, or at least a healthy reboot, I think of Counter-Strike and Rainbow Six Siege, both of which have ranked play that players love returning to each season to grind. See, when I get into a fight against another player in Fortnite that is clearly around the same skill level as me, which is about 5% or less of the fights in this game, usually it's either crushing literal bots that probably are playing on a flip phone, or you're against a preseason pro streamer who's many light years ahead of you in experience, and there's absolutely nothing you can do. But when you do get in a fair fight, it is extremely fun. Whether you win the fight or lose it, it's an intense experience and much more rewarding than an easy noob kill. So I get when pro players get in a huge build off against another good player and talk about how intense or fun that was afterward. I get where they're coming from. And if everyone was having that experience, a fair fight, no matter your skill level, everyone would be enjoying this game a lot more, itching to play it, talking about it, whatever. Again, I like the difficulty, so my initial reaction to this problem was, if I care that much about them developing skill-based matchmaking, why don't I just get good? I should just put in the time to match my skill to other players. And I mean, that's fine with me. I'm sure that's what a lot of the good players would say, get good, kid. But that's not a reasonable solution, nor is it probably an enjoyable solution for the bulk of potential players out there. I mean, every game should reward you for putting in the effort to improve your skill. It should show when you are above average, but there's a lot of discussion about this online. Many have lost interest in the pro players because 75% of their kills are against players that literally stand zero chance from the moment they're spotted. The challenge just isn't there much of the time. Thankfully, there are scrims and tournaments that put them against other skilled players, but again, there needs to be a little balancing to the game as a whole. Another factor is that there's a ton of people, which I know plenty of, that can't give a lot of time to a game. Maybe they just play every once in a while for fun with friends or only on the weekend, versus streamers that literally play 10 plus hours a day. They just will never have the time to catch up skill-wise to a lot of the players this game pitches you against. And not everyone should be forced to play 10 hours a day to enjoy a popular game. Without skill-based matchmaking, this game is going to be very hard to get new friends to play with you. Now, Fortnite is designed to be a wild ride and create a lot of fun moments no matter what you're doing, so you can still enjoy it with friends even when you have no clue what's going on, but there's a lot of room for it to grow in that regard and become a great experience for everyone. Side note, I just took a break from making this and watched someone else's video how they made Fortnite fun again after it became not fun for them or whatever. The comment section was just a big discussion about why people weren't having fun with the game, and a vast majority of the comments were about how hard it is to just have a chill round of Fortnite. And I don't mean chill as in like make everything easy for me, but for a casual player to just jump on, win some fights, lose some fights, and have a good time. When instead, the game is just populated by sweaty soccer skin tryhards that make casual play or having average skill an exhausting experience. Literally half of the comments were saying vault tryhards, and the game instantly becomes fun again. So that leaves us with one question: why isn't there skill-based matchmaking in Fortnite Battle Royale already? It's hard to know for sure, but I did find a conversation from a while ago with a developer who basically said their game, the servers, the matchmaking, and its requirements just makes it too hard to implement. As in, needing 100 players at any given second in a specific server region to start a 20-minute round creates enough problems as is. And if they were to add other requirements to matchmaking, such as rank, it'd create too long of a wait to queue into a game. And here's the deal. I don't buy it. Even PUBG had a degree of skill-based matchmaking when the rank seasons were implemented. I pushed rank for a few days for a video during the January PUBG season in FPP at the time when it had the most concurrent players playing, 3.3 million. I got my rank into the 300s, and the difficulty seemed to scale right alongside my rank. Fortnite has over doubled the daily concurrent player count and currently sits at nearly 10 times the concurrent players as PUBG. Those games aside, there are many other shooters out there that have a tiny player base compared to Fortnite and still use rank or skill-based matchmaking without a problem. I understand those games often require less players or shorter rounds, but still, I'm talking about games that have 10% or less of the player base that Fortnite has. But what do I know? I don't develop games. I mean, clearly Fallout 76 has some sort of engine restriction that keeps them from adding something as simple as an FOV slider. And so similar to that, maybe Fortnite has some sort of development restriction that keeps them from being able to do matchmaking. I don't know. Honestly, we've basically experienced what skill-based matchmaking performs like in Fortnite with these very short mini tournament LTM things they've been doing, like the recent solo scavenger pop-up cup. I played a little bit of that, and sure enough, the more points you earned, the higher you climbed, the better the players were and the harder they were trying. However, the queue times became unbearable. Once you got above 20 points, it's like the game was forced to match you only with players that had the exact same number of points as you, and there was no other system in place to supplement your lobby with other players after a certain amount of time. I just sat there matchmaking for an eternity, so I eventually stopped playing the event. Maybe that's living proof that skill-based matchmaking would indeed take too long in Fortnite, but there's got to be a workaround where in general it would match based off rank, but for the sake of time would sometimes add lower and higher ranks to decrease the queue time. I feel like that would be better than an all-out mixing pot of complete noobs and 10-year veterans. The last problem I'd see with matchmaking is pro or really talented players being upset that they can't fly around the map crushing noobs left and right anymore. And there's a simple solution to that. Just like most games with a ranking system, have a casual play option as well, and make it so that casual play is just for that, hopping on and casually playing for no other reason than to have a good time. Don't let casual play increase stats. Give no incentive to players that care about their career, their stats, growing their numbers to use casual play, but still have it as an option for people that just want to take a break from tryharding and play for fun. Then separately have your option to play ranked, and those games are what actually affect your stats. I don't know, maybe I'm the only person that cares about this, but I have a feeling this would make a lot of other people happy too. Honestly, it is in Fortnite's best interest because many of the games that have had extremely long or healthy lives have had ranked play and seasons be a huge part of it. Fortnite already has seasons nailed down, so imagine being able to say I was rank 1 in season 5 or whatever. This would give good players a reason to grind this game for years to come, and it'd benefit players just looking to have a chill Friday night of gaming in Fortnite. An additional side note, this would also fix a massive problem their main source of marketing is having, which is streamers getting stream sniped. I guarantee a vast majority of the stream sniping kids couldn't near compete at the rank of players like Tfue, Dakotas, and whatnot. So rank-based matchmaking would instantly break that up. That's just my 2 cents on the topic though. I think what amplifies the problem in Fortnite is just the fact that the skill ceiling is so incredibly high with good players. I honestly feel like I'm at the skill level in Fortnite that I was in PUBG, that if I actually sat down and played for wins, I could get some each evening. I win fights, I lose fights, just like I would in PUBG, but maintain a positive KD. The big difference is that when I lost fights in PUBG, I felt like I still had a chance. Like, as much as I'd hate to admit it, the fights usually seemed fair player to player, putting desync and lag aside, of course. But in Fortnite, you will run into players that are so infinitely better and have far more experience than you that there's just 100% nothing you can do against them. There's not a single feeling of, man, what a good fight. You just get helplessly handled and sent back to the lobby. Again, it doesn't bother me a ton because I do want a challenge. I want a game where I can see my growth. There's always something to work towards, but overall, the outright unfair matchups are not a good experience or a look to have in a game. I've watched a lot of videos around this topic, what season people think is the best, and almost universally, people liked season 4 and before, many citing season 1 and 2 because there was less of a try-hard atmosphere, which you have today. I've been watching a lot of season 1 and 2 gameplay, and it is a very different game. And don't get me wrong, everyone deserves to have fun in this game, and to some people, try-harding, kill-thirsting, aggressive playing is their fun, and us casuals need to understand that. Not everyone has fun getting in an emote dance-off in the final zone, so I'm simply suggesting a system that allows for both. A casual mode that doesn't report stats and therefore will weed out a lot of the pro players or need to try hard, and then a ranked play that is fair no matter the level and gives everyone an endless goal to push for. I mean, come on, people love leaderboards, but that's just me. Definitely let me know what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Would love to see some discussion in the comments, but until the next video, I will see you guys later.